everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night live stream. My name is Jim. This is More Sunshine, Please. I'm hoping I'm on the air and everything's going all right. How is everybody doing this evening? What I want to talk about today is my trip to the D23 Expo. So that's going to be the bulk of my time here this evening. Rachel, Charlie, Mike, Jamie, you guys are the first ones in here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mike and the rest of the Sunshine Nation. I still get a kick out of that. Thank you. So I guess I'll get right on into it. Uper Wisdom Videos is here too. Welcome, Jason. Okay, so on Thursday, I flew out to Anaheim. Very exciting. I met, through D&G Explorers, met a friend out there. We had the same flight. We were both going to the D23 Expo and spending some time at the Disneyland parks as well. And overall, it was a very fun trip. It was a great weekend. I'm going to try to break it down. I didn't really give myself notes. I'm going to try to remember everything that happened in the weekend, and I'll show you some things I brought back, and who I met, and all about the weekend, the expo itself, my thoughts about my experience there. So I know I'm going to forget a lot of things, but I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and I tried to get a slideshow going, and I was going to show pictures for everything I was going to talk about. But as I was setting it up, it was limiting me to 7 pictures, and every second picture was upside down. So that's something I'll have to work on in the future. But I think I have some to show you. So whatever comes up, I'll talk about, I suppose. So we'll see. Dougie, Waldo Grams is here. Thank you so much for tuning in. He's a little hoarse. Okay, so I started out by saying I flew out to Anaheim, met a friend through D&G Explorers. His name was Chris. We were on the same flight, and we had set that up ahead of time. Now, I had never met Chris in person before, and had only seen him actually on D&G's videos. So he didn't arrive to the gate until maybe 15 minutes before we were boarding. And there was another guy at the gate that I thought might be him, but this guy had a beard, and in the videos, Chris was without a beard. So I thought about approaching the guy with a beard and asking him if he was Chris. Glad I didn't. That wasn't him. 15 minutes before the boarding, I saw him walking toward the gate. So, and I recognized him as the person I knew from D&G Explorers videos. So anyway, flew out there. Flight was uneventful. It was nice. Saw D&G Explorers. They met us there. They were picking us both up from the airport. D&G Explorers, they're really the first YouTube friends I had. They're the longest YouTube relationship that I have going. They've been great friends since we met. And it was a great pleasure to finally see them in person and meet them. And they're just like they are in the videos, except completely different. Now, I was so excited to see them that I almost forgot to pick up my bag at the carousel. So that was a little bit embarrassing, but we got it. And we flew into LAX, and that's a madhouse. But Gregory, who was driving the car, was awesome. Derek was the navigator. They did great. I suppose while I'm here, there's a lot of people in the chat. So let's see. D&G Explorers are here. Thanks, guys. Pam's fam, welcome. Eric Newman, thank you so much for tuning in. Disney World Adventures is here. So good to see you. Kay Atwood, thank you so much for being here. Talking about D23, my weekend, my experience specifically. To me, I can't speak to anybody else's experience. So it was my first D23 Expo. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but again, I wrote down no notes, so this is all kind of just whatever's coming to my head. So I'm going to try to keep it in an order of some sort. Let me go to the slideshow I was trying to put together, and I think all of the picture that I have are right side up, but I don't know exactly what they are. So let's see. Okay. All right, this is actually good. So you've got, we went into the airport, D&G picked us up. We checked into our hotel, the Candy Cane Inn. There might be a picture on here of that, I don't know. But we checked in and immediately went to Disneyland Park. Oh, let me try to mute that. Okay, sorry about that. So what you're seeing here, this picture is in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, my first visit there. And the people you're looking at from left to right, Bob and Ashley, or actually Ashley and Bob, Juan Rodriguez, it was awesome to finally meet him. Derek from D&G Explorers. Our friend Chris, the guy I flew out to Anaheim with, he is a Disney World cast member, and he's an awesome person. Then in the brown shirt is Gregory, big explorer, and then me on the right, of course. So this is a photo pass from Galaxy's Edge. So that's the first place we went to. Bob suggested let's go to Galaxy's Edge first, and nobody was arguing that. Let's see what else is on the slideshow. What's next? Okay. So not only did we do that, maybe I should go back to that just for a second. I'll go back to me. Just Galaxy's Edge. I don't want to talk too much about it. We did the Smuggler's Run. I wasn't in awe of the land. I mean, it was fantastic. I loved it. It looks great. But I've seen so many videos. I've watched so many other people go into the park that I knew exactly what to expect, almost where things were. Not that we spent a ton of time there, but we were able to do Smuggler's Run that evening. And that was a lot of fun. The group, most of them had done it before. Really just Chris and I were the novices, and they let us pilot it. No, Derek was a pilot, and so was I. One of the pilots goes up and down, and the other does controls right and left. And I don't know what you know of the ride, but you're trying to smuggle something, and you're trying to gather these capsules, I think, what they're called. Anyway, each ride's different depending on how you pilot it and what you shoot down and all that good stuff. And we were able to get 2 capsules, which I guess is fairly good. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And looking forward to doing it back here next week when Galaxy's Edge opens up here in Orlando. Amanda's here, the Lucky Minute. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sawyer in the middle, welcome. Mike Woodbury, thank you for tuning in. Stacy Rogers, class of 1971. Well, when I say class of 1971, it sounds like she graduated high school in 71. I just mean she and I we were both born in 1971. The same year Walt Disney World opened. So we share a bond that nobody else can really understand. Bob and Ashley's here. Welcome. Thank you. Founders of the Sunshine Nation, or Bob coined the term, so I thank him. Little Oz Laurel, welcome all the way from Australia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where was I? Oh, okay. So Star Wars. So yeah, I recorded a bunch of stuff. I'm going to come out with some vlogs, so I'm not going to show any video here. I just didn't have time to do it, or else I would have. But Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a great area of Disneyland Park. Um, the ride was really cool. We even went into Oga's Cantina, but that was a couple days from now. So if I'm doing this chronologically, I'll wait to talk about that. So after Galaxy's Edge, we went and hit the rest of the park. When I made plans or was thinking about my trip, I said I want to do, of course, the rides I've never done before, Matterhorn and Mr. Toad. I don't remember doing that ever, so that would be new to me. But I also wanted to do the rides that they also have here in Orlando, so I wanted to compare and contrast. So we did Haunted Mansion, we did Pirates of the Caribbean. We what else is in Disneyland Park? I should get a map out. Hang on. Here it is, coming up. Hang on. Got a bag full of goodies. All right. Okay, there's not the right one. Okay, Disneyland. So if I look at this, it'll refresh my memory of what we did. Oh, we did. Oh, now I'm getting my days confused. I'm not very good at storytelling, am I? Okay, so what is there? We did now Pirates of the Caribbean. It's no secret that the better version is in Anaheim, and it's just longer. And there are all these scenes at the beginning, what would be the beginning of the ride in Orlando. It's just the first part of the Pirates of the Caribbean in Anaheim could be called Skeletons of the Caribbean, because it's all these scenes of pirate skeletons laying in a bed of treasures and all this stuff. And then right before you get to the Barbossa scene where he's with the cannon fire on the fort, there's an effect. There's a skeleton in what is kind of like a cage, and he's kind of hanging there. And as you go past it, the person turns from a skeleton into a pirate. And it's the same effect that you see on Journey into Imagination with Figment and the butterfly in the cage, if you're familiar with that. It's an illusion. It's done with mirrors, and at least I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But in the Figment ride, the butterfly disappears. And in this ride, the skeleton turns into a flesh and blood pirate. So it's cool. And then the rest of the ride, no more skeletons. It's all pirates. And it's pretty much the ride that we have here in Orlando. So all that extra stuff is so cool. We also did Haunted Mansion. Now, and I had heard, well, perhaps Orlando has the edge as far as the two Haunted Mansions go. And I suppose they do. But it was cool to see the Hatbox Ghost, which does not have a presence here in Florida. So right after, was it the ballroom scene? Right after the ballroom scene, right before you go out to the and see the caretaker, and they're having the Grim Grinning Ghosts party. That's where the Hatbox Ghost is. So it was really cool to see him. So that's one thing in favor of the ride in Anaheim. But I think overall Orlando's got the edge there. But it's so close. It's not like it blows it away. Pirates in Anaheim blows away our Florida versions. So it is a great ride. What else did we do? We ended up doing eventually, I don't remember which day it was. We did Space Mountain, which it's Hyperspace Mountain, so it has the Star Wars overlay. And that's really cool to hear the Star Wars music as you're riding Space Mountain. That's new to me. Graham, welcome to the show. Thanks for watching. And Chrissy Osho, thank you so much for being here. So Space Mountain is a winner. I did not do the Buzz Lightyear ride there. We didn't do the Mr. Lincoln show. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. That's in Main Street, USA. We didn't do that. We did Big Thunder Mountain eventually. I don't remember which day we did that on. I guess I'll just say that the first 2 days, Thursday, I was talking about Thursday, but Thursday and Friday were the parks for me. Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. So we did do Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, which when you watch my video, I hope you get a kick out of that because I certainly paid for it. My guests, or my host rather, kept putting me in the front, Chris and I, in the front seats of all the rides to experience that, which was really cool, except for Splash Mountain. And I'll just say I've never been more wet on an attraction that wasn't in one of the water parks. Stay tuned for that. I hope it's as funny as I tried to make it out to be. It was ridiculous how wet I got on there. It was Blizzard Beach level soaked. It was, and I heard multiple times, I've never seen somebody get so wet on that ride. Yeah, great. Glad I could be that person. I'm kidding. It was a lot of fun. We did the Indiana Jones ride, which is the same track that they have here in Animal Kingdom for the dinosaur ride. And the Indiana Jones ride is much more open. You know, the dinosaur ride is very dark. But this ride is you're in a lit up temple, and it's wide open, and you see a lot more. There's a lot more to see. It's so much more detailed. But it was interesting. I could tell at times, especially near the end, where I would be if I were riding Dinosaur. For example, when the guy says they're not going to make it, I knew exactly where I was when he says that on the Indiana Jones ride, because the track is the same. So that was interesting, but I enjoyed that ride very much. We also went to Disney California Adventure, I think both days. If not, we certainly went there on Friday. And can I just say, I loved this park. There were two rides there that just blew me away. The first one that we went on was the Incredicoaster. Let me go back to the slideshow because I don't know if I think, is that Space Mountain? I don't recall. This is the Incredicoaster. Incredible Coaster? What is it called? Doesn't matter. It was awesome. That is the best Disney coaster I have ever been on. It was so much fun. And I enjoy the Incredibles as it is. And to be able to ride something that is Incredibles themed was great. But the ride itself is amazing. It's fast. It's lit up really well. You go in these tunnels that are very cool. The characters you see throughout the ride, and it's got a good story. It was awesome. We also did... Well, what's the next picture? I don't even know. Oh, Friday I met Pepper Tree Villa. There they are, in front of the castle. The smallest Disney castle, I think. I joked these guys have tremendous pride in their Disneyland parks, and they should. They're awesome. But I asked them, well, that's a great castle, but when are they building the real one? Because it seems like it's a placeholder for... I'm so used to Cinderella Castle here, and this was just so much smaller. Here in the Magic Kingdom, you can see the castle from the train station, and you can tell it's a big castle. when you're at the train station in Disneyland Park, the castle looks like it's um, somebody's really ornate house. It's small, but it's charming. You can walk in it, and there's a Sleeping Beauty themed little walking tour in there. That was kind of neat. Um, but I was happy to be able to meet Pepper Tree Villa. But the other ride that I really enjoyed was the Mission Breakout, the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And this is the ride that used to be the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And so instead of being in a haunted elevator, you are in the collector's collection. The Guardians are captive in his collection, except for Rocket. He needs your help, our help, to break out the rest of the Guardians. And I guess there's 7 different ride experiences you can have. And with each one, Rocket unplugs the ride music and plugs in Peter Quill's Walkman, so it's to a different song each time. Each of the 7 times, that is. So what I had heard from Bob and Ashley is they had done it many times because they had been there the better part of a week already. And they said, we've done them all except from what they understood to be the best of the rides, which is when Rocket plugs in the Walkman, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5 plays. And he said he had heard that is the best experience, just from the sheer amount of times you go up and down, the thrills. So they had done them all except for that one. I don't know if it's a more rare experience, but certainly it's well known that is the best of the experiences. So we went on that, and it's the ride starts, and we see the shadow of Rocket Raccoon unplug the ride music and then plug in the Walkman, and I Want You Back by the Jackson 5 starts up, and it seemed like the whole elevator, because it's still the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride vehicle, that whole thing just started cheering and clapping because most of them knew, I think, yes, we are in for the best experience you can have on this ride, and it was awesome. That first of all, that song's so fun. But then when you go up and down on this thing and the doors open in front of you and you see this giant LED screen in front of you showing you the Guardians, and they're breaking out of this collection, so they're being attacked by aliens and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I ended up doing the Incredicoaster and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout a second time during the trip. Did it again on Sunday, and it was a different experience for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It wasn't the same song, and it was Born to Be Wild. The second time we did it, it was still great. I mean, I don't think it matters what song you get. That's just a great ride. So much fun. I think those were my 2 favorite rides at the Disneyland parks. I mean, I love Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, but as far as new experiences goes, those were so awesome, and I'm going to miss them. I'm doing a poor job of following this stream here. Gallantly streaming. Alan, welcome to the show. RVing to Disney, thank you so much for being here. Peter P., you're not late. You're right on time. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just trying to recap as best I can my weekend. I mean, that sounds like I blacked out. I didn't. I'm just, I don't have a great memory. Certainly don't have a great memory for details, what was... the order of things we did. I guess on Thursday night, was it Thursday night? Yeah, it was. We all went to dinner. The group you saw in that picture. So Juan Rodriguez was there, Bob and Ashley, D&G Explorers, myself. Oh, and then Matthew and Lauren joined us a bit later. From Matthew and Lauren Vlogs. They are West Coasters. They are both Disney cast members. If you haven't checked out their channel, please do so. I know they just released a video today, I think. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but It's of their time with D&G Explorers and Bob and Ashley from earlier in the week. I think from Saturday. Excuse me, the Saturday before the D23 Expo. So I want to check that out. But we had dinner reservations at the Lamplight Lounge, which is Pixar themed, and as it stands, I ordered the ratatouille, and I wasn't being cheeky. That was the only thing on the menu that appealed to me because I'm not eating meat. Forget about that. But it was actually awesome. I've had ratatouille twice within the past month. I never had it before, and I enjoyed it both times, and they were both completely different. The first time had now I'm blanking on what. I don't know what makes ratatouille. I don't know how it differs from like a veggie stir fry. I don't know the definition of the dish really. But anyway, so my meal was great. A lot of people had. I remember Lauren, Matthew, and Lauren are here now. Thank you so much for being here and being awesome hosts and concierge for me and Chris and Bob and Ashley and all the Florida visitors. You guys were awesome. So were D&G Explorers. So was Pepper Tree Villa, Juan Rodriguez. All these guys know so much about the California parks. I felt really lucky to be there with them. Back to dinner. Everybody else had awesome meals and awesome drinks. Lobster nachos were a big hit, I understand. Lauren had the chicken nachos, which seemed huge and awesome. And it was a great meal as far as I was concerned. And that was near the Incredicoaster. I think maybe we did the Incredicoaster right after that, perhaps. So anyway, so that whole area was great. I'm going to go back to my slideshow because I don't know what's next. Again, I only have 7 pictures in it, so let's see. Okay, so let's go to Saturday. This is D23 Expo Day, and when we arrived there, doors opened at 9. There was quite a line. We didn't actually get through the doors until 9:30. Anyway, what you're looking at was a photo opportunity. It was one of the first things we did at the expo. So myself, Chris, Derek, and Greg, we found this. It was a Haunted Mansion design contest area. And then they had this photo opportunity where you could stand in there and hitchhike. It reminded me of the photo opportunities they have at the Festival of the Arts at Epcot. It's the same thing. You can walk behind the display and make it look like you're in the Mona Lisa or whatever. Same thing. So it was cool. I thought that was a pretty neat picture to get. And let me just explain. Well, let me see what other picture I got. Oh, so while I was there, I met Alana Zengano and Rafael Zengano. It was so cool to meet all these people that I've only seen on YouTube, and it's the same thing every time you meet these people. I'm so familiar with them, watching their videos, and to see them in the flesh in real life it's odd at first. It really is. But in no time does that go away, because all of these people are very nice people. These are Disney fans. You've got something in common with all these people, and they're as happy to see you as you are happy to see them. So it was very cool to meet them. My regret is that I didn't get to meet more. I'll explain that in a second. This picture, and I think it's maybe the last one I have. This is the Candy Cane Inn. Or the view from my room. And the Candy Cane Inn is so close to the parks that what you see, that tall building in the background, is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That's the building. And just to the left of that, you can see Cars Land, or the back of Radiator Springs Racers. I've got video of it. I don't have a picture on here of it, but let's see. Was that it? Yeah, and we're starting from the beginning. So, all right. So, the expo. Overall, I'm going to give you my opinion of the expo itself. It was all right. I think it could have been better had I gone to the big panels, the Parks panel or the Disney Legends panel. But I was not interested in camping out all night or waiting in any more lines than I had to. So no regrets there. I went to 2 panels. The first one was the Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary celebration, and that was okay. It started out a little slow and rough. They had an Imagineer there, a young guy, relatively young Imagineer, who learned from one of the original Imagineers that created the Haunted Mansion. And he was showing us things like household items, things he did in his basement that you can do in your basement to make really cool effects. Which was kind of okay. It was all right, but I think I would have preferred if he showed us how they do things in the ride, the Haunted Mansion ride. And he was showing us how to do things with laundry detergent and black lights, for example, which is interesting, but kind of not what I was there for. If you're interested in seeing this panel, D&G Explorers streamed it. And the entire panel, the entire show is on their channel. So check that out if you're interested. I will say the beginning was slow, but the second part of, or maybe the final part of the panel, they explained that, what's his name? X Atencio, one of the Imagineers that created Haunted Mansion, he wrote Grim Grinning Ghost. He wrote that song. He also wrote Yo-Ho, the Pirate's Life for Me song. He was I think an animator, but he was tapped to create things for the Haunted Mansion. His granddaughter, he had just passed away a year or two ago, but his granddaughter was there. So what they announced was that they had the very first draft of X Atencio's script for the Haunted Mansion, and they were going to read it there, so you could see exactly how different it is to what the final version, the version that the Ghost Host reads, how different it is from that. And there were some differences there. So, but what they did was they acted it out. They had 3 voice actors come out and do it. The first one was X Atencio's granddaughter, who helped read some of the script. The second one was an actress dressed as the tightrope girl from the Stretching Room portrait, and she was in character reading kind of the narrator of the script. And then anytime the Ghost Host was to speak, they brought out, and now I can't remember the Muppet's name, but it was a Muppet, and it was Uncle Deadly, is that his name? Can somebody in the stream tell me if I've got that name right? Sally Slater is the tightrope. The name of the girl in the tightrope portrait. And then the Muppet that was playing the part of the Ghost Host was, I think, Uncle Deadly. I might be wrong about that. But he's blue and he's got these things hanging. Uncle Deadly. Thank you, Bob. So he was playing the role of the Ghost Host, and that was entertaining. He was kind of funny, and that was the best part of the panel. The other panel I did was called I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Immersive Worlds, bringing Disney movies to life in the parks. That was the theme of it. And again, I was kind of hoping for something different. I was hoping they would explain how they what they do exactly, and they did. What they do exactly to bring to make the most immersive experience you can make in the parks, based on movies that you see. They had 4 people on there. It was moderated by Joe Rohde. He designed, among other things, Pandora: The World of Avatar. He was the moderator. They also had lady that, and I can't remember her name. She helped design Alani. They had gentleman on there representing the designers of Disney Shanghai, and then a designer representing the work done in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And I can't remember their names, but I know Bob and Ashley remember their names because I think they met a couple of them, and I know they met Joe Rohde, and I think they spoke to the guy that helped design Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So, but what they ended up doing was talking about from a designer's perspective, what influences them, what inspires them. I think I was hoping for a more tangible explanation of what they were. I guess I wanted to see instances. I wanted them to show a picture on the screen and then talk about it, but they were just. It was a little bit of it was. I know Bob just said they should have called that a living room chat about 4 parks. It was a little dull at times, which is sad because Joe Rohde is kind of a Disney legend. I don't know if he's an actual Disney legend, but he's done some great things for the company, and he's an amazing designer. It was just a little dull. So the 2 panels that I did were okay. The rest of the expo was kind of divided into a few different parts. Sister Sunshine, thank you so much for being here. Zachary Pollock, welcome to the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to my experience, my Anaheim experience this past weekend. The rest of the expo floor was kind of divided between the official Disney stuff, like they'd have a booth for the Disney Plus streaming service. You could go in there and sign up for that. They had 3 multiple shops, but they had 3 really big shops that you could get a reservation for if you were lucky enough to do that. Went into one of those shops. I'll talk about that in a second. Then we saw an area for the Disney parks, and they had a big Epcot display. They had villains and heroes or something like that, and they had a bunch of costumes from Disney movies and TV shows. And oh, my nephew's here. Welcome. Thanks for watching. What else? Okay, so they had a bunch of stuff, and another part of this section was kind of like a big garage sale. It was these small pin trading operations that rented booths on the convention floor, and there were so many pins. There were millions of pins at the D23 Expo. There was also a lot of art, posters and paintings and lithographs, and there was a lot of stuff. Very busy area, narrow walkways. It seemed like a street fair of sorts. Orderly, I suppose, but man, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of people selling collectibles of all sorts, whether they were Disney Golden books or whatever. I think the most expensive thing I saw was a Matterhorn poster, a very large poster, bigger than that, and it was $17,000. I remember Bob telling me he saw something that was priced at $25,000. There was something for everybody there, provided everybody was wealthy. Did I see Heimlich No, no, I don't believe so. Um, I did see Bob from Bob and Ashley was kind enough to tell me when the street fair they had a little parade of sorts going through the convention floor every day. I think at 3 o'clock or something like that. So we watched that. So I did see two celebrities that were kind of the grandmasters, grand marshals of that little parade. One was the guy from Pitch Perfect. His name was Austin something. I know he's married to Anna Camp now. I don't remember his last name, but Heimlich was in the back corner past the Talent Central. No, I didn't see Heimlich. I think there's a lot I didn't see. Um, but I did see Austin somebody. So that they had a little street fair. It lasted a bit. It was kind of like a Disney parade going through the expo floor every day. And that was kind of cool. So I vlogged that. So eventually I'll get that onto a video. What else? Then there was for example, I know there was a lot I didn't see because there were vloggers I knew that were there that I wanted to meet, and I never got around to meeting them. For example, Shep from the Shep family and Corey from Corey Meets World. They were there together. I think I missed them by about 10 minutes. I know Derek and Gregory got to meet them and see them. Greg from Expedition Greg, formerly Greg's Disney Adventures. We had talked about meeting up there. It just never happened. I think, Dis Life of Ours I never met. What happened is these people would want to camp out for a panel, so they would be in line for a long time and weren't necessarily available or walking the floor. So I just never was able to meet them or see them again. So that was unfortunate. I wish I got to meet more. I did get to meet some great people I was looking forward to meeting, so that was cool. Saw Tim Tracker about half a dozen times on Saturday. Saturday was the only day I was at the expo. I know he was getting stopped for pictures more than Austin somebody was. That's for sure. I know there was. I'm a D23 Gold member, and all of the Gold members could go and get a free gift. So I haven't opened it yet, but here it is. Isn't that awesome? No, I'll open it. Okay, let's see. It was a lithograph. I knew what it looked like. Okay, let's see. So that's kind of cool. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the new style, Eric Tan style Mickey Mouse, and in the streak in the sky, all of these flying Disney characters are there. So you've got Eve from WALL-E, Iron Man, of course, Buzz Lightyear, Peter Pan. Baymax is there. Apparently Ariel can fly. Dumbo, the magic carpet. Zero. Who else is on there? Is that Pete's dragon or is that Figment? I see a silhouette of somebody there. Mary Poppins, y'all. What else? Thor. So that's kind of cool. That's display worthy. Maybe right there. So that was cool. So that was a cool thing I got. I know maybe another thing that would have made the expo better was to be in those larger panels. Not only do you get to hear cool announcements in real time, but I know for the Walt Disney Studios panel they were giving out posters, so I saw a lot of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker posters people walking around with those. And just for giggles, I checked eBay, and yes, of course, just a short time after that panel, there were a bunch of those posters available on eBay. I know one had $55 bid on it already. A lot of them were priced for $100 or maybe $120. That's crazy. But also, I pass up that money if you can get it, I guess. If people are willing to pay, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with that. So what else? So that was the expo, pretty much. Walked around. What else about the expo itself? Oh, I had a reservation for the Disney Dream Store, which they had 3 major storefronts there: Mickey's of Glendale, the Disney Store, and the Disney Dream Store. That's the one I chose to try to get a reservation for, because they said they were going to have D23 gear. They were going to have Haunted Mansion anniversary gear, Big Thunder Mountain anniversary gear. They were going to have Splash Mountain anniversary gear. And for the most part, all those anniversary shirts, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder Mountain, they had one of each. They had one style of each, and that's about it. I was hoping for a lot more, a bigger selection. So that was a tiny bit disappointing. They had a lot of stuff in the Dream Store, a lot of art that was thousands of dollars. I'm not into that. They had some D23 gear. That's what I chose to get. I'm actually wearing the shirt. I'll try to stand up. Where can we see this? This is one of the D23 shirts. Let me raise the mic a bit. The design is Mickey Mouse holding, I think, a Dole Whip, perhaps a Citrus Swirl. I'm going to choose to say it's a Citrus Swirl. But it doesn't really say D23 on the front, but that's the design. It does say D23 there. So this is my souvenir, my one and only souvenir that I bought at the expo. But again, this was the best, I thought, of the D23 shirts that they were offering. So that's what I got. Everybody, if I'm missing any comments in the chat, I do apologize. I'm not very good at that. I try to get better, but I also like flapping my gums, and I hope you don't mind listening. But other great panels that I would have been interested in were on other days. Again, I was only there on Saturday. Friday and Sunday had, I think the Voices of Disney Characters was another panel. That probably would have been my top pick, but it was on a different day. I did watch the video of it. Somebody had posted it, and that's always cool to see these people do voices that you're so familiar with, and to watch them and see what they actually look like is pretty cool. It is a Citrus Swirl. Okay, fantastic. Great. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Amanda says, "What's up with the powdered sugar? I must have missed it." I don't know what you're talking about necessarily, but I think I might know what you're talking about. Okay, so after the expo, we went back to the parks, and one of the things we did was we tried beignets and mint juleps that I've heard so much about. The mint julep was refreshing and tasty. It was a minty drink with like limeade, and it wasn't too sweet. I found it to be very good. And at the same booth, they sold beignets, and they were covered in powdered sugar. And even before I bit into it, I said to somebody, "Don't inhale," because if you've ever done that around something, elephant ear or a funnel cake or something, and you inhale that powdered sugar, it's going to make you cough. Well, I said that, and then immediately inhaled, of course, and I started, coughing on it. But the beignet was very good. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I didn't cough too much. It was just funny that I didn't mean to inhale the powdered sugar, but oh, what are you gonna do? Um, let's see. Oh, people are digging the shirt. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, there were other shirts, but this was the top one in my book. Summer Sunshine, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Matthew and Lauren went to the voice panel. I saw the video. It looked awesome. And I had seen them from past years. I've watched videos of it. And it's the voices of the parks. From the past years, they had the voices of the parks, so you can see the guy that does the voice on the Mark Twain riverboat, and the guy that does the Pirates of the Caribbean pirate, the guy that took over for Paul Frees, who's no longer alive. There's the lady that does so many voices. You might be, and I don't know their names, so I apologize. But she does the voice of It's a Small World. Welcome to It's a Small World. Giving you instructions before you go into the ride. That lady. It's cool to see these people. Bill Rogers was on that panel. I'm talking about an expo I've never even been to. So, but Bill Rogers was at this expo too, and throughout the day he'd be on a stage that you could see from the expo floor talking, but never went into that area. So anyway, we after the expo, we went back to the parks, had beignets, mint juleps, had dinner, another dinner. Derek and Greg and Chris and I had dinner at the Blue Bayou, and this is the restaurant that is in their Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So if you're unfamiliar, it's a lot like, and if you're only familiar with the Florida parks, it's a lot like the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, where you get on the river, the Grand Fiesta tour, and immediately when you get on, you go by the restaurant. Well, it's the same thing. I think they took that idea from the Blue Bayou in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Anyway, our dinner was very good. That was the Swanky? I don't know if that's the right word. It was the most expensive restaurant we went to. I'll just say it helps to know a cast member. So that was nice. Again, I got the vegetable pasta. It had a pesto sauce on it. It was pretty good. The bread before was a rosemary brioche, which was nice and soft and warm and tasty. And Amanda says she ate there too. Everyone loved it there but me, but I would definitely go back. It is an experience. It's cool just to be in that building. Yeah, I don't know if anybody in the party fell in love with their dinner necessarily. It was good. I think everybody enjoyed it, but it wasn't, it wasn't something that might be a must-do every time for every trip. But I'm glad I did it. That was an amazing opportunity. What else is in that big bag? I'm going to get to that in a second. I guess I should continue my show. What else did we do? We finally rode the Matterhorn. And I knew that was a rough ride. I had heard that from everybody. So what I did, and if you're not familiar, it's a roller coaster outdoors. It's, I think, the very first Disney coaster. It certainly predates Space Mountain. What I did was there's a bar right in front of you, and I kept my arms straight on it and pressed my back against my chair, so I wasn't I was pretty stable in the chair going around the ride, so I didn't experience. I had prepared myself. I didn't experience all the jostling. But again, I was able to reap the benefits of having others go on that ride before me, and I tried to prepare myself accordingly. Um, do they have a signature dish at the Blue Bayou? D&G, I don't know if there's a signature dish there. Um, Nor at Lamplight Lounge. I don't know if there's a signature dish. Everybody talked about the lobster nachos there. Um, I don't recall. Okay, so that was dinner actually on the Friday, wasn't it? Okay, so on Saturday after the expo, we ate at Wine and Country Trattoria, and if I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know if I have the accent on the right part of that word. Um, but we had an Italian dinner there. Um, and that was good. That was very good. And from there, we also got tickets for World of Color, and I'm only remembering this because I see Derek and Gregory in the chat mentioning it. Thank you for doing that, refreshing my memory. So that was good, and then we went to the show World of Color, which is a water show, projection water show, and that was awesome. Got some video of that I'll be posting in the days to come, but um, it has a wet area like the killer whale show at SeaWorld, because it had so many water cannons in the waters. If you were in the right areas, you got wet. We weren't even in the designated wet areas, and we were getting misted by all the water that was being sprayed into the air. It was a cool show. I think we closed out the both parks on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But we tried to, get as much as we could out of our time there. So that was that. And then our final day was Sunday. We went back to the parks. We were going to spend the morning at the park. We went to California Adventure first, and then Disneyland Park. We did some things again. Derek and Gregory took us to the Roger Rabbit ride, which is trippy, but cool. Got to see where the brawl was. Not that I was interested in that. I just happened to see that area. But yeah, I felt like there were some things that we never got around to doing, but I had an awesome time. Did the things I really wanted to do. There were some things I didn't get to try, though. I had planned on getting the thing from the Adorable Snowman, whatever that's called. Never ended up getting that, and I wish I had, but you can't do everything. I never tried the blue or green milk, but I have an opportunity to do that here at Hollywood Studios when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens up there. I never actually had a Disneyland churro, but that's okay. So our time in the parks had ended. We then were able to go to, because one of our party was a cast member. And they don't have character warehouses there, but they did have something for cast members. And again, it pays to know a cast member. Oh, they call it the Yellow Snow. That's the thing from the Adorable Snowman I did not get. Next time. But what this store was, it was essentially a character warehouse for cast members there. And frankly, we saw a lot of the same. I saw a lot of the same things in the Character Warehouse in this store. Half the store was the same stuff. I did get some things that I'm going to show you. There. The first thing, and this was at the Character Warehouse. I just didn't get it in time, but luckily they had it here. And this is, my daughter loves The Incredibles, so I got her the Bob Hart, the Mr. Incredible plush. And he punches. He does. So that's cool. I was glad I was able to get that, and she was digging that yesterday. What else? I don't know if you can see the ears down there, the Olaf ears. Those are really the only ears I have until now. I got these pirate ears, and I thought this was really cool. These were only $5. Normally, they're 18. So I thought I can't pass that up. Those are the coolest ears I've seen. They also had a Haunted Mansion ears. They had a number of them, but this was my favorite. So I enjoyed. I like the pirate hat on top of it, and the skull is kind of cool. So that'll be going up there somewhere. What else? Oh, let me just show you the bag. A Disneyland bag. That's my first one. What else? Oh, another hat. And I think I've seen this at the Character Warehouse. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is a Haunted Mansion cap. It says "Welcome, Foolish Mortals" on there, and it's got the gargoyle holding the candles. And what I realized is when I'm wearing it, my wife told me this, is from a distance it kind of looks like a camouflage cap. It's not fully on my head because of my headset, but like from a distance, I could see that. So I think perhaps what I'll do is I'll do it Bob from Bob and Ashley style and wear it backwards. I think that looks better. It says Haunted Mansion there. So I think when I wear this hat, I'll be wearing it like that. So that was also $5. What else? Oh, not from the store, but this is the another freebie from the expo. It's just a reusable bag. I guess when I go to Aldi, I'll be using that. Okay. What else? This was another freebie from the expo, Ariel, and this is a Princess Majestic Quest video game or something. They were just giving these out. What else? Again, not from the store, but this was my badge from the expo. Again, we only went on Saturday. So we were wearing that all day. Where are my other things? Oh, this, and they give these away at Magic Kingdom as well, but this is the ridiculously small Ziploc bag they give you to keep things dry on Splash Mountain, and I say it's ridiculously small because I could have used one that was whole body sized because it got so wet, but for 50 cents at that store I got these veggie chips, Chip and Dale Snack Company veggie chips. I had a bag of these on the plane. They weren't bad. And then I got this, when we were standing in line, I saw these antenna toppers available there, 50 cents each. So I don't think my car has an antenna, but I know some people that dig Orange Bird, so perhaps these are going that way. But I thought that was pretty neat. What else? Oh, I couldn't find it for the stream here, but also got another a shirt for my wife that was only $1.99, and it was white and had red and blue stars all over it, and it said something like "Laugh, Love, Mickey" or something like that. $2. So okay. Oh, that's this is a little something for a giveaway coming up later. So I think that was it from the store. So yeah, and then we caught the flight home, and uneventful. Um, I took Chris home. We got in at around 11:30. I drove him home again. He's a cast member. He lives behind the Magic Kingdom. So when I dropped him off, it was 12:30, and then I mean, he lives right behind the Magic Kingdom, in a neighborhood I was not even familiar with. But on my way home, I plugged my address into Google Maps just to find the quickest way home, and it led me behind the Magic Kingdom even closer to it's. And when I was driving Chris home, I asked him, "What's that over there?" And he said, "That's the cast member parking." So when I was going home, I cut through. Well, I didn't cut through. I mean, that was the direction Google Maps told me to go. So it's not like I was going somewhere I shouldn't have. It was a public road, but it led me right behind Tomorrowland. So I was literally on the other side of the fence from the construction of the Tron roller coaster. Super close. And I knew there was a road that goes back there. I knew there was a road that hugs Space Mountain. I just have seldom been on it. And anyway, that's the road that goes back into a cast member parking area. And it was 12:30, quarter to 1 at the time, so there was really nobody on the road. I didn't stop or anything. I was just marveling at, oh my goodness, realizing where I was like that, and seeing that Tron construction so close was pretty cool. And I know that's something that's available to everybody. Jamie B, thank you. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Looking at the chat, what in a field? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, Derek and Gregory. Are you talking about where Chris lives or where the cast members park? It was a parking lot. It looked like a factory of some sort. There was like Disney Transportation where they service the buses, and all that stuff was back there. So it's just an area I had never been in before, so that was neat. And then I finally got home that night around 2 o'clock, 2:30. And then I worked the next day. I didn't want to take another day off, so but it was all right. And I caught up on my sleep a bit more last night, so yeah. Again, I'm sorry if I've missed any questions that were in the chat or anything like that. Eva in Gulf Fire Designs, thank you so much for being here. I just saw you in the stream. Peter P. asks, did you hear any construction? I know it was late, but you never know. No, I heard no construction. There was hardly anybody on the roads. So, yeah, it was pretty much me, another car, and that was it. I'm going to go back just briefly and see if there's anything. Matthew and Lauren want to ride Splash Mountain again with us, Jim. Haha. I will, provided it's the Splash Mountain here in Orlando, because you get a lot less wet on that one. I can't wait to show you guys that video. It's I had the GoPro going, so I had no idea there was that much water. I knew I'd get a little wet. I thought, yeah, certainly, I know what Splash Mountain's all about. No, I did not know what it was all about. It was stupid how much water got on me. But it was fun, all in all. Free Jelly Bellies. Oh, yeah, they were giving those away. I didn't take them, but I saw that. Oh, there was some cool puppets at the expo. A lot of books for sale. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Would I go again to the expo? I don't think I'd make a special trip to Anaheim to go to it again. But the next one's going to be in Orlando, so I might go to that in 2 years. It'll be in 2 years, so I might go to that. Oh, look, my PowerPoint just uh, did that. How long has that been like that? Let's do that. All right. Um, yeah, front row on Splash Mountain in Anaheim is ridiculous. So yeah, haha, joke was on me. It was a lot of fun. It made for a good video, I hope. I hope to get that out there very soon. I've got one vlog will be my first day there. And I didn't really vlog it traditionally where I was talking much into the camera. I was more recording things. I wanted to take it in. And so I thought what I'd do is to be able to enjoy the park and not have to worry about making a video. I thought I'd just record some things and then maybe kind of do a little bit what I'm doing now, just kind of retelling the story of my trip. But I'll do it better. I'll write things down and I'll have things to remember. So, and then I'll add video to it, so it'll be much more entertaining than this live stream has been. So, yeah. Yeah, my D23 Expo experience, I thought I would get to mingle with more YouTubers that I knew were going to be there. Although the ones I did meet were, that was awesome. The panels, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more for both of the panels I went to. I was hoping for more affordable things to buy. A lot of high-end stuff there that just, I don't know who goes to that and can afford to buy a $17,000 poster. I guess they're out there. It wasn't me, but yeah, there are ways I could have made the expo more enjoyable, I suppose. But for what I did, I'm glad I went. I don't know if I need to go to Anaheim to do it again. But yeah, glad I went. And the parks, getting to spend so much time at the parks was awesome. So for that, I thank Derek and Gregory for being awesome hosts. Chris for being a great friend and giving us access to some things. Matthew and Lauren for walking around with us and telling us so much stuff about the parks. Getting to meet them was awesome. Pepper Tree Villa. Those guys are encyclopedias of Disneyland. Juan Rodriguez, I got to ride Haunted Mansion with him. He told me when the Hatbox Ghost was going to come up, so I wouldn't miss it. So I thank him for that. And hanging out with him, getting to know him was awesome. He's great. Who else was that? I feel like I'm missing something or somebody but I want to thank Derek and Gregory again. They kind of they picked an awesome place for us all to stay at the Candy Cane Inn, walking distance to the parks, which is how many resorts are within walking distance to 2 parks here. You've got the monorail loop at the Magic Kingdom, but that's one park. You got your Epcot resorts. I suppose you could walk to Hollywood Studios also, but those are much further walks. So it was awesome. It was great, and I thank them so much. I am going to be speaking of D&G Explorers. Let's hope I did this properly. Hey, I think that might be right. Tomorrow, D&G Explorers live at 8:30. They'll be talking about their experience at the D23 Expo in their weekend with me. You don't want to miss what they have to say about me. I'm kidding, whatever. Bob and Ashley might be on the show as well, and who knows who else. But please tune in Wednesday. Give them a thumbs up. When you're there, subscribe to their channel if you haven't. They're such good friends, and I'm so happy to be able to meet them finally. And that was a great weekend. So I thank them again. Thank you guys for being awesome hosts. Hope I didn't drive them crazy. There were times where we had plans in the morning to go to the parks or whatever, have breakfast for like a continental breakfast at the hotel, and then go to the parks. And I made a mistake on my alarm one time, so I was late at least two of the days, if not every day, and I'm normally not. So they must think I'm always like that, but it was fine, and they were very nice about it. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching my live stream, my recap of the weekend in Anaheim. Matthew and Lauren Vlogs is still here, thanking me for coming. Thank you for being there, your friendship and your info, and it was so awesome to meet you. Jason, thank you. Uber Wisdom Videos. Everybody, thank you so much. Next week, I'll return to my regular stuff. There's a lot of people in Florida right now. A lot of our YouTube community is in Florida. I really want to get to the parks and meet a lot of these people. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. I think that the entire Diz and That crew are here. Mouse Talk is here, and Disney Dan is here. I know I'm missing a lot of people, but I'm hoping to meet a lot of other YouTubers. I think he was in here earlier, Chris, Disney World Adventures. I think he's going to be there on the 31st, and so many other people. So it would be great to get there and meet them all here in Florida. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if I ran into Mouse Talk Show too much. I know he's here, so he might be doing a live stream from the parks. Either way, check out his streams from the parks this week. They're a lot of fun. He rode the Tower of Terror today. I saw a replay of Steve's World live stream of that. He's alive. He made it. He survived it. So that was good stuff. Thank you, everybody. I'm finally calling this. Have a good night. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.